episode of Everyday Faces. This is episode 2. Before everything goes on, let me just get the formalities out the way. Shout out to everyone who's supporting episode 1. We got a lot of good feedback for the discussion on being black and love. I appreciate everyone supporting. The second one, I think that was like Linda's decision. Like he insisted, and I was like, I don't know about love and all that. But like, I think that was a good like decision. It was a good decision because like people related, and that's all it's about, man. Being relatable, having a platform for people to discuss and all that. So that was pretty good. And today we have a special guest.
Special even, fam.
Special. We have a special guest. We have young Kundi in the background. The got some audience, you get me? Young boy Linda's also here. He's just getting some tea for the special guest. And today we have I think this topic is very important because it's something that teenagers, adults go through, and it's just something that's, I'd say it goes on throughout life. People struggle with like this topic, and the topic today is being yourself. You always hear stories about adults like saying, I wish I did this and that, and I think it just ties in with that idea of like doing something that you love and something that defines you. And yeah, man, so today we have a special guest, young Allan Astro. Allan Astro.
How's it going, brother?
Yeah, man, this guy right here. I remember like the first time I met this guy. He's just like, he was like energetic. He was very welcoming, and that says a lot about how someone perceives themselves and how they.
I'll probably say some stupid shit too.
Big money.
Big money, 2K.
But that says a lot about the person, because a lot of times when someone's aggressive, when you first meet them, you don't know them. They're like, you can tell how they view themselves. Maybe they're being protective, intimidated, insecure. So when someone's welcoming, that says a lot about the person. So Allan Astro, who's Allan Astro? Man? Just give a rundown what you do.
Man,
the person you are.
This is so hard because this is one of those parts where you have to be like, oh shit, now I gotta talk about myself.
Yeah, facts. When I was making these questions, I was thinking like, damn, how does someone answer some of these questions? But all right, we'll take our time.
Cool. Yo, I'm gonna be as try to be as broad as possible.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say that like my identity as a person has changed, but my goals and objectives have changed. Like 4 years ago, man, I wanted to be a big man lawyer, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Big man lawyer.
That's still the dream. Shout out my mom and my dad.
Shout out. You have to get that degree thing.
But my identity as a person has definitely evolved creatively. Right now, I also got a young podcast.
Is there? Is it Millennium Punk?
Modern Millennium. Modern Punk. But that's a good name, though. Yo, that's a good name.
Because I know you changed Modern Millennium and then Modern Punk.
Yeah. People are like, pronounce millennium wrong a lot of the time, just like now, and I was like, Modern Punk would be easier.
Yeah.
And plus also the aesthetics as well. I feel like growing up, a lot of grunge culture, a lot of rock and roll, a lot of dirty hip hop influenced who we were, and that was cool. So who I am, I'm saying free spirit, free soul. Fashion model at my friend Ed, which actually happened pretty recently. I'm gonna say it.
Congrats, bro. When I saw it, I was like, damn, fire. Because those guys right there are big. They're huge, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's a big one, bro. Congrats about that.
Yeah. So there's that. I work with Parsley Studios Berlin, which is crazy, which is also a style fashion brand.
Sheesh.
Which is nuts, right? Which is nuts.
How did you get with them?
One of my brother was actually friends with creative director over there. And they were like, oh yeah, Allan, blah 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 blah, checked out my style, which is very, honestly, I don't think it's very like ooh, you know what I mean? But yeah, now I am, taking care of the Johannesburg branch, which is pretty big.
That's crazy. Like creative directing.
Oh well, something like that. I don't wanna like hype myself up that or anything. But and law student at Wits University, lover of life and nature. Used to work at Greenpeace.
Really? That's amazing.
I left that shit. Not on any like bad terms or anything. I just
just moving on like the next phase of your life.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think with like Wits, what I like about Wits and what you see like when you look at other vlogs of like Tux and UCT, Wits like you can like fully be yourself. Yeah. And people are just like 100% themselves. But I think also in general, like when you go into university, you don't have to worry about, in high school, you're like, oh, I don't want to be come across like this and that's right. You're in like a secluded group, and you just don't want to like express yourself fully because people in high school are rough. So they're rough. So when you get into university, it's like just like refreshing. Like people are themselves. And how would you define being yourself?
Yeah, actually, funny thing, because high school for me, like, it was cool or whatever, it was all good, but Wits actually changed my life quite a bit. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about that whole, 4 years ago, I wanted to be, I'm saying Steve Harvey. I mean, I know that nigga in what's it called, in Suits, not Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey with the mustache. Not that nigga, the guy in Suits, that Harvey.
Yeah, the lawyer.
Exactly.
Yes.
Steve Harvey. Right, yeah, Harvey Specter. Yeah, and, I remember back in high school, man, even, just the ability to show, love to other people was crazy.
That was,
so much hostility, man. And, first year of Wits for me was very life-changing because the friends that I had, and they still are my friends. Really changed a lot about me. My gap year. I'm gonna get real deep for you real quick.
Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? What a time.
So high school, your boy, deputy head boy, but I got demoted.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Rough.
I know. It's like, yes, sir. And then, oh, shit. Yo, am I allowed to swear on here?
Don't worry. Put the explicit on it.
Cool. Yeah, so, I remember my life back then was very focused on, sports and academia. And, and all this stuff. And then, deputy head boy, I was at this Greek school for 2 years. I'm not Greek. Don't ask how I got in. Dodgy uncles, fam. So I got in 2 years. 1 year, make me deputy head boy, which is crazy. And I received a lot of hate about that. Oh no, this guy is new. Oh, how can that happen? Yeah. Blah blah blah. And in my literally 3 months before school was done, because I did A-levels before my A-levels started, some weird shit about, I gave this guy my account password. So you know how it's Wits, Sakai and shit? Yeah. Niggas started downloading gang things, bro.
You don't have to say what he's downloading.
Nah, he wasn't downloading that.
Your stories about those
want to make this a whole conspiracy.
Your stories about those type of people in high school.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Shout out to Linda. Linda just came through with the tea.
With the tea.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So man's downloads gang things, move, blah, blah, blah. Directors of the school catch on to this. So bear in mind, this shit's illegal. Yeah. Right? And they call me and they're like, oh, Allan, you know what? We were looking at your internet browser, history, IP, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. This wasn't me. This was, So what this guy did was he gave my password to other people, the whole form, and I wasn't very smart about that shit. I'm so glad I know now because my username was Allan, the password was password 1. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Password 1. You gotta add that 1 though,
just in case.
Obviously didn't work. So I got demoted. And I remember I was in a very dark space because when all of this was going down, and even they had fucking like files and stuff from when I wasn't even in school. You know, from when I was out playing rugby and like at speech and drama. Like, they were like, yeah, and I was like, nah, but I wasn't even there. And it really kind of put me in a place where I didn't trust people no more. You know, man, I cried in front of my mom.
Yeah.
They called my mom in, bro. Like, it was crazy. And I cried in front of my mom when they did that shit. Because they made me remove the blazer, the tie and stuff. They're like, we're taking this shit back from you, nigga. They don't say that.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, so it was, and this happened 2015.
Yeah.
Right, so like I was very, you know, closed off from people. And, you know, I just didn't trust people and stuff. Obviously, with my gap year, right, which was basically spending like time in Zimbabwe and helping out Kenya as well. You know, helping out and like interacting with people, you know, really changed my life. And it was like my mom's idea. And then they had me work at like this little French store called, I can't remember the name, but it was like the worst job of all time. I think I've told this story like 3-4 times where like, you know, I had to ask each and every person who came into the store, like, oh, how may I help you? 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 And the first 3 weeks was hard because it was next to this girls' school which had like all the flyest honeys, and every morning, you know, they'd come in and I'll be there like, oh, how may I help you? You know, clearing up trolleys and stuff. That shit hit. Yo, the first 3 weeks was hard. It was hard. And I remember a day that broke me was when this one girl, right, she came in, she bought her fucking sandwich and a smoothie, whatever the hell. And then she looked at me with a smirk. She's like, oh, Allan, you're working here?
What did she say?
I was just like, damn. You know when it's hurting on the inside, you're just like, holy crap, you know? So it seemed like the worst. Like, you know, I was like, why are my parents making me go through this?
Yeah.
What did I do? You know? I mean, but after a month, you know, I had like this spark. It was like, you can fly, you know, like no one can touch you. You know, all that uncertainty and all that disbelief and all that, is a word I'm looking for. Insecurity, right? Kind of just like
it stops you from being yourself when you like think, oh, no, that guy over there, he's looking at me weirdly.
Exactly.
Or like he's gonna try and also do something like the previous guy did to you, and it was just like, it's like difficult being yourself when you feel like you can't be yourself around people. Yeah. So that whole process, like obviously not many people go through this, like that process of like, you know, finally realizing that and being like free, you know, but obviously like there are other ways, but I attribute that experience and that shitty store to a lot, and then obviously a lot of other things and you know, vets and all this stuff, and being myself was, you know, I was unafraid to be myself, especially after that girl was like, oh, Allan, you're okay. Yo, trust me, it's those small little defining moments. And, you know, the next 6 months was, you know, smooth sailing. Like, I was happy to go there. You know, it was, yeah. That's amazing, because that's like a process that people go throughout their life. Like, whether it's 20, 50, like, who am I? And I think it's like a blessing when you can figure out who you are, like 18, 16, 20, 25, like, because that's just like the beginning of your life.
Yeah.
And like you say, after that experience, you manage to express yourself. How do you like express yourself through, like, is it like fashion, music? Like, what is the platform that you use to express yourself?
Man, you know how it is. We're like all those things you mentioned, especially music. You know, everyone wants to be like, oh shit, I'm the new Playboy Cardi.
Yeah. You can't see right now. We're doing the Millie Rock.
It's crazy because, you know, I looked up a lot to my brother. You know.
We're just speaking about that now, Linda.
Yeah, that nigga, man.
Your brother's like the first person you look up to before your dad, because a lot of time you're not around your dad a lot. You during holidays, when you come home from school, your brother's there, you playing.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. That nigga treated me bad though.
Yeah. Of course.
He treated me bad, but shout out to you.
Shout out to
in terms of like, shout out to the tea. It was really good.
Sponsorship, come on, give us what we waiting, bro.
Yeah, in terms of like fashion and stuff, I will like mention my favorite houses. Vetements, which is incredible. You know, the guys over there. Oh, incredible fucking job. Like Vetements for me it's that. Stotts Barlett, doing incredible things. But for me and my end, a lot of my inspiration is from music. Music that I used to listen to growing up. And I think I've said this before somewhere. Kurt Cobain, rock and roll was a massive, especially like punk and like grunge.
Just like the montage of Hick. Just like the way.
Oh shit! You watched that? Yeah. Oh snap! Yeah.
Like the way you grew up, like you could. I'm sure like children are watching that and like, yo, I can relate to this 100% because what he was going through with his family, his own personality, and just like his own development, like you can relate to that. So
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna pass that comment. I'll bring it up later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really influenced me in terms of style. And, obviously growing up on like MTV, because that's all we used to fucking watch. MTV and, those weird like Fast and Furious movies. Like Fast and Furious 2, that caliber of like movies and stuff. That kind of like really influenced style and stuff. And obviously like hip hop in a massive way. Who would I say? A$AP Rocky. I think that's like,
of course.
ASAP. Yeah. Man, where else do I get fashion inspiration from? Shit.
Everywhere. I think people like get it from just like seeing that person walking on the side of the road.
Yeah, but I actually spoke on this once about the aspect of originality, though.
Yeah, it's on your IG story.
Yeah.
I mean, IGTV.
Yeah. Oh yes. I actually.
Man, don't worry about it. I did the research thing. I remember you spoke about how originality is lost, and I would say it is like there's a fine line between being inspired and just being yourself. Because I think a lot of the time people want to be different, so other people can tell them they're different. They're not just like being themselves, which makes them different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, shit. Oh, okay. Add footnote.
Footnote right there.
Add footnote right there.
Yeah, but I think you just spoke about that, like how important fashion is to you.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. How important it is to me. Yeah. No, it's extremely important for me. Oh, heavy.
This was like the modeling and all that, and.
It's. How important it is to me is based on the aspects, I think, of expression, especially being kids who went to school with like uniform and stuff. Man, I was bugged all the time about my hair. I remember I got so pissed off that I shaved it bald once.
Yeah.
I'll send you a little picture. So bald completely.
Yeah.
But fashion, like, aesthetic. Like I cut all my own hair. I've cut my own hair for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. Like all of this shit, like that's why it always has like little, like, it's not always very even and stuff, but I like that because I feel like it gives a sense of authenticity and shit. And an aspect of expression, fashion is who you are.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think it's like a big deal. And I'll like go through Reddit and people like, oh, these people, they only care about his fashion, they should care about, getting jobs. And it is a sense of expression because like a car, not that humans are, face value like that, but like a car or a building or a house, the aesthetic that it it elucidates, like it, vibrates into the world, is basically a what it stands for and what it represents. And it's not as important now as it was back in like 2006, 2008, 2012, but like what you wore was what you represented, the music you listened to, the things you did, so if I see someone who's dressed in a particular way, I'll be like, oh shit, like, oh snap, this chick is so punk.
Yeah.
And that they're down to like do certain things and listen to certain music.
Yeah.
And they're about a certain kind of culture. So yeah, that's
important right there.
Very, very important.
And we just like briefly spoke about like modern punk. What do you choose to like convey when you on the YouTube, on the podcast, in your vlogs?
Right, yeah. So with modern punk, which was modern millennium, a little something that I started with my boy Mikey. I mean, we both live in 4 ways, and because we take like a lot of Ubers, the Khao train to get to Uni, so like the commute is
long,
hectic. Yeah. So we'd listen to like music in the morning and stuff. But, there's only so much, like, 2 Chainz you can listen to, you know what I'm saying? There's only so much 50 bands you can listen to, and stimulation of the mind was, like, something that we searched for.
Yeah.
And, like, listen to, like, different kinds of podcasts. And, we're like, oh, shit, we could do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We already have, like, enlightening conversations all the time. Why don't we just put this out there? And we started with Modern Millennium. And I already started like, had a couple YouTube videos, style-based YouTube videos that I was making. I was like, you know what, man, let's just make it under the same branch, man. Like, it'll be dope.
Yeah.
Body equipment and everything. I was like, let's do this, fam. Right? And, we just talk about anything, oh, babe cheated on me.
I feel like that's very similar to how we started. Right?
Yeah.
I think we spoke about it previous like episode where we just like we'll be driving in his car and he's like, start a podcast. Think of names. Our dealers.
Yeah.
And then it was just like a running joke. Just like,
which is a beautiful name, by the way.
Shout out, thank you.
Beautiful
We're just joking about it. We're like, it's actually, bro, we have a studio over here with some mics. Let's do this.
Let's do this
and
thing.
Then, yeah, man, that's just like, it's also a nice way to express yourself because sometimes you don't have that musical. What is the word? Musical. I forgot the word, but like you can't express yourself through music because you don't know how to play like instruments and all that. But like conversation, we all have conversations, and also our conversations are amazing. Sometimes we'll be having a conversation. It's like we should actually record this in the house.
Of course.
So I think it's just like a nice way to express yourself and also help people relate, because again, like people need someone to relate to. And sometimes when you look up at a celebrity, it's like it's far-fetched. If you're looking at someone like right next to you, see every day, school, like, oh damn. So that's like something that is very important for us. And just with relationships, I tweeted this thing one time. It's like, don't complete me, accept me completely.
Hey,
so I was thinking, like, what do you think of when it comes to relationships? Do you think that we should meet someone that completes us, or should we already have like that love and appreciation for ourselves before we get into a relationship? Because I've these couple of days I've been having that confliction. Like, I don't want someone to come and like fix me, but also like we're human beings, so we need that connection.
Yeah. So interesting line from Pharrell Williams.
Is there?
Used to listen to so much NERD, man.
Yeah, bro.
Seeing Sounds album of my life. And there's this song, Laser Gun Carrier. And he's like, I am a product of Cam, a product of Gnu, a product of blah, 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 blah. It had me thinking, as a person, nothing is original. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I'm talking about this from like, a relationship perspective.
Okay.
nothing is original. As a person, we're all made of like, okay, let's take I don't know, this wooden table in front of me. You know, another person looked at another table and they're like, okay, you know, this is how I'm gonna design mine, like this, that, and then they took ideas from that and things that have like influenced them in their lives and stuff. All right, whatever. As a person, same thing. You know, you are a product of, you know, your mom, your dad, this person, that person, that like makes you as a person, right? Same thing when it comes to relationships, because your significant other is also a person that helps form who you are, you know? And you can't have like, oh, I want to bake a cake and then, you know, throw some, like a whole pineapple in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the other person brings to you as a person has to be building and has to like make a complete cake. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So the aspect of like, you know, complete, what was it again?
Don't complete me, accept me completely.
Oh shit. Actually, man, that's hard. It's difficult, actually.
Like, I've been sitting at home and damn, like, I don't know if the way I'm looking at it is the right way, but also again, there's no right way, but like it's like the best way where you like, I don't want someone to complete me, but then again, you're not like this well-rounded person. No one is this perfect person. Yeah. Because you'll see on Instagram, you see on TV, people seem like they are perfect, but like, I don't know. You never know what's actually going on. Yeah. So like, it's just like a difficult thing to think about. Like, I want to be myself fully 100%, but also no one is actually fully themselves 100% all the time. So it's like a difficult.
That is a very difficult question.
It's difficult.
It got me thinking.
With your platform, do you think you have a responsibility to inspire, to influence, or? Yeah. Wow. Have a responsibility. Oh shit. I think a responsibility might be like the wrong word, but you know what I mean? Like, just like,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Some Spider-Man stuff. You know? With great power comes great responsibility.
Thanks.
I think the message that I do try to convey. You know, I used to like try and make what I did very deep. I should probably do that shit some more, to be honest. But now it's just more free flowing and the aspects of being yourself, having fun with life, but also knowing that, you know, you are who you are and you have goals, specific goals that you want to reach. But no matter how, like, you know, hard and difficult life is, because like we all go through shit, you know?
Everyone's going through something.
An aspect of positivity is honestly the best thing that you could do for yourself and the people around you. You know, like I hop on, like, I know people have gang rants, and it's okay to have a rant, you know, but put that rant to somewhere where it's like useful, you know what I'm saying? Make a podcast. You know, a YouTube video. I won't be ranting about, you know, some bullshit about how, you know, you know, I hate people. Like, bruv, no one needs that shit. I feel like the human race is doing pretty well. I know that there's mad shit that's going on, right? But as a people, you know, there are so many of us who are so loving and so kind. And you know, I think that's like my main message. I'm not like Gandhi or Mother Teresa.
I also feel like if you just doing something that makes you happy, if you just being yourself, someone's gonna look at you. You won't even. I don't think we even know, like, see the people who are actually looking up to us, because they feel like, no, we can't tell them that.
Right.
But like, someone's probably looking at Allan Astro's like, damn, this guy inspires me, and I want to be something like that in the future. So I think that's just a very important thing to think about, because you're right. Like that positivity is a very rare thing to have, because everyone's just like, oh,
It's very
my
tense.
My life.
Oh, dog. You should have, and y'all should have been there. I remember you guys never experienced the Fees Must Fall, right?
No, I didn't.
Holy. Yo, can I get like all on here? Can I talk about that on here?
You can.
Shout out 2015, 2016. Nah, it was wild because the atmosphere. 2016 is when I got to Wits University, and when Fees Must Fall happened, the amount of people say that like the energies that people have and the auras that are around you, they really don't contribute to much, but they do. I remember there was such a massive divide. Yeah. In 2016 because of the whole Fees Must Fall thing. One group of people was like, "No, we want to go to school, man. Fuck this." Right? We don't give a damn about Fees Must Fall, right? Yeah. Because school was closed down for like 2 months, right? And people were getting very anxious. And then one half was like, "Oh, you don't support the cause, the struggle, the brotherhood. Oh, my nigga." Making it sound like a rap beef.
It's a rap beef right there.
But the aspect of, I remember there was so much tension, especially like in lecture halls where you could, cut the tension with a knife. Yeah. And that aspect of like the energies that people had was crazy. Man, if we had like a little more positivity, everything would have gone a lot smoother. But ever since then, there's been like a bit of a tension between like those exact same people.
Yeah,
bruh.
I know you're talking about like this.
Bruh, like there's this one kid who like put up some poster or something, and it was like, "Oh, you know what? Education is my right too." Dog.
Ooh,
every time like that guy is seen walking by like a couple people.
Goes to Vids.
He still goes to Vids. Like I see him around and stuff, right? He's like big homie to one of my mates actually. Yeah. He always gets like these dirty ass looks. You know what I mean? He always gets these dirty ass looks, like, cause he actually went pretty viral. That's the thing.
Really?
And he gets like,
that's a nightmare, going viral for something like that.
Yeah, he gets these dirty ass looks.
Sheesh.
So I mean, I know that people will be like, "Oh no, this is a bad thing that's happening," or this doesn't affect me very well. You know what? I'm gonna fight back. Like sometimes I think taking a look at being self-aware about what's going on and how you can bring a more positive light to it instead of like a more negative light. Now you have this guy who's being given dirty looks for the past 3 years.
That's crazy.
And he probably thought it was a good idea. Now you see what's going on.
Now think it's a good idea.
Now he's being talked about on one of the biggest podcasts in the
Shout out our dealers.
Yeah. So I know I kind of like ventured very far from the question.
That's all good. But yeah, man. Back to like inspiration. Like, who inspires you?
Woo. Okay, so I've got like I think people I look to for like creative mentorship. And that's something that I said a couple of days ago. And I think the one thing that I'm like kind of insecure about is the aspects of like my creativity. Especially with like the other kids at my friend Ned. These kids are like, whoa. You'll be like, holy crap. Like you'd be like, how the hell do you even think of this?
Oh yeah. Those guys, like when you go through that, like the profiles and you go to the Instagram, like, oh, these guys are way out.
bruh. Oh. And I talked to some of them, and I met, one of the people who I actually like looked up to. He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll send him a link to this. His name is Shakes. Really, really cool guy. He has a tattoo over here that says, no offense, it says "No woman, no cry." It's fucking hilarious.
Damn.
Funny guy, And like I always used to look up to this guy. I was like, oh shit, blah blah blah. And like I met him in person, I think, a month ago. And like his mind, like it's like I don't know what these niggas are eating, man. Like I don't know what's in their water.
Yeah.
But they're so like intensely creative that it's absurd. You think like, fuck, how? And that for me is something that I still feel a bit insecure about like how can I push myself creatively. But with creativity, I don't think it's like a muscle. You know, it's not like you can go to the gym and like
practice.
Yeah, but I do feel like you could try and get until like you get like some massive aspects. And like these people have taught me that. Get Gary V. Shout out.
Yeah, Gary V.
Yo, after I read my Bible in the morning, I go to Gary V.
that guy's like unapologetic. He's straight to the point.
Love him. The aspects of, you know, pushing forward, going on, continuing, you know, that, definitely that. Another little controversial man, Jake Paul. Jake Paul. I know a lot of people are like, huh, Jake Paul, huh?
He's a YouTuber.
Yeah, he's Logan Paul's little brother. And you know, obviously, I'm not like I don't like get my creative influence from the videos that he like makes about, you know, oh, let's go slime a house or whatever. Nah, but the aspect that he like releases something new every single day, every single day, non-stop, every single day, and he's like his business model. Holy moly. That was nuts, and that I think was one of the...
Every day is crazy, a video every day.
Yeah, a video every day, and the business model of it, of Team 10, or whatever he calls it, I think was where we came up with a lot of aspects from Modern Millennium. Modern Millennium is still a thing, it's just the podcast name changed.
Yeah.
Was the aspects of how they live in this massive house, and in this massive house he invites creatives to live with him, and they just like make videos, and like people can make content, and like, you know, one side of the house and another side of the house, another side of the house, and
it's like Beyonce would like bring producers and all that.
Exactly except for like
and they did like non-disclosed, you can't say anything about it.
We should start doing that shit.
That's a great idea.
Thing is with him, like he has these people live with him, which is nuts, and he calls it Team 10. And the thing is, with Modern Millennium, there's so many creatives that like we knew and like hung around and, you know, partied with and stuff. And everyone was doing their own thing, and everyone was doing their own thing, and that person was doing that, and that person was doing that, and that person was doing that, and that person was doing that. And the whole like original idea between Modern Millennium was for everyone to come together and like to bring around like skills that people had. Like if you're a photographer,
sometimes you need that. Like you work much better when you're in a group.
Yeah. So if you need a photographer, you know, you have like, Turiro, she's a photographer. If you need like, you know, a person to like direct a music video, like, that guy, and like you come together because you're all under the same sphere, and it makes like your journey and like your push into like the creative sphere a lot more, you know, horizontal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Next would got Gary V, just Jake Paul, my brother. Shout out Danny.
Shout out.
Who else am I gonna mention here? Yeah, and then, you know, a couple of other smaller people, Jamie Lang, you know, people who are doing their own thing, who have like their own hustle. I think the aspect of like the hustle, you know, enjoying.
It's like nice being around people who are doing that.
Yeah.
Like for example, those guys that do like thrift events.
Yeah.
Just like being around that energy, like people are like, they're doing what they want to do, and they're pushing it to like different heights and all that. It's like amazing feeling, even if you're not doing art and all that. Just like being around that energy is amazing. Yeah.
Man, I wonder what it feels like in this, because I know that there are still people out there talking about creativity.
Yeah.
Who really, I wonder how they must experience other creatives, people who have like, they are people, and you've been to Vids, who don't give a fuck about that shit. And I like, oh yeah, you know what, I don't care, I just want to do my school and get money. Like, I wonder what it must feel like for them to experience, you know, all the creative energy, man. Like that shit must be crazy.
At Vids, again, like you'll just like feel it. Like people are, you speak to someone, like, now I'm doing this and that, I'm modeling, I'm doing this. You speak to this person, now I have a fashion, like a fashion line and all that. It's like, damn, there's like a lot of things going on in Vids, and even if you try and avoid it, you won't avoid it. Eventually you're going to be like, I have to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because like everyone is just doing something. So
Yeah.
it's like it's an amazing feeling. And just to close off, like the last two questions, what would you say to that's high school self that was going through those dark times? now that, like the things that you know now.
Yo, young Astro, stay strong, bro.
Astro.
Yeah, yo, man, just okay. Live, love, learn. You know, those three, bruh. Live, love, learn. Continue to learn. Never say no to, you know, a massive opportunity. This is one of the things that I feel like a lot of kids don't realize. You can always binge Game of Thrones, bro. You can always do that. That's always gonna be online. You can always watch House. Go out and like do some shit. Go make some shit. You know, and that's one of the things. And I remember my cousin's sister told me that. I was sitting in bed. I was playing like video games or something, and she was like, "Hey man, do you wanna come to this, you know, art thing that's going on?" Ooh, and I remember I was in high school. I was like, "Oh no, I wanna watch, you know, Dexter,
Yeah.
right? Not the cartoon, you know, the other one."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Lighty, hey, you can always do this shit. Come with me and do something, experience something, you know, because a lot of people when they get to like 26, 27, 28." They're like, "Oh, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what I like." For you to know what you like, you gotta go taste something. You know, you gotta like, you know, go dabble in something. You gotta go and experience something so that you know what you like. So that when you get to 30, you're not there like, oh, I need a gap year after uni to find out who I am.
Yeah.
Find yourself and who you are at that young age. Do all these things. Don't say no to like, you know, particular types of like musics or like, you know, events.
Oh yeah,
or
definitely.
shows.
Don't like just. Again, like life is so short. I was telling, we were speaking about it before you came. Like life is like way too short.
Yeah.
Just to like say, nah, I only listen to like hip hop, or I only do this. Nah, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? And that's not my time. That's not what I don't like. That's not what black people do. Or this and that. Life is way too short to just stick to the same path as everyone else. Because yeah. You don't. There's certain experiences that you only get once, and then when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting there like, I wish I went to that thing. I wish I said that to that chick. I wish I did.
I wish I said that to that.
Bro, I'm telling you, like you have to. I don't know. You have to like live unapologetically. That's what I would say to myself. Like, don't be apologetic. Oh, that's what my mom says a lot to me. Don't be apologetic for who you are. Just be who you are. Cause
Shout out to your mom.
shout out to moms. Moms, they always make the right decision. They know what to say all the time. So, yeah, just like don't be apologetic.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've also been like dealing with the last 2 years. Like just not being apologetic of who I am, because yeah, man, life is short. Don't yeah.
Also be smart as well.
Yeah,
just
be
like
smart. Of course.
Strategic.
Yeah. Don't be back to that thing about the chick. Don't say something to that chick if she, like you already like hurt her feelings or something. You know. Don't go back. What are you saying?
Oh my gosh, I'm such a funny story. Hold up, I feel like there's we'll make this short, like 1 minute. I remember back in first year, there's this girl I thought was cute. You know Abra?
Yeah.
From Awful Records. I thought Abra was hella cute. And then there was this girl who looked exactly like Abra. Right? And I was like, oh my gosh, she looks exactly like Abra. And then I remember I was still young. Obviously I didn't do that no more. But she, you know, I'd spoken to her a couple of times, then she needed something or whatever, and I was like super, super rude. Right? And then she's like, and I was like, yeah, I'm the man. What up? Because I had anything like, you know, a bunch of girls like me, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you know, I don't need you. Looking back at it now, I'm like, oh shit.
You can't go back now and say, hey, listen, hey, how are you? Nah, it's too late. Too late. And just to close off, who do you wish to be in 10 years?
Man, I guess it won't be Allan Astro. It'll be Mr. Astro.
Dr. Astro.
PhD in astrology, bro.
What are you saying?
Yeah, in 10 years' time, definitely making money from. I actually still want to be a lawyer, hardcore, but probably more in the creative field.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there needs to be an integration between like.
People are getting robbed.
Yeah. There needs to be an integration between like big money organizations in one circle and then the other in creativity. You know, that intersection, Mr. Astro, right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I feel like that's what a lot of people should aspire to do, because let's be honest, we all want like a Porsche. You know, I don't know about all of us, but I want one. And being able to make like revenue and also give other young people the opportunity to do this as well would be nuts. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the entrepreneurs that we look to in terms of like financial investment and blah, blah, blah. There are people about the hustle, the grind, you know, not really vested that much in everyday creativity, you know, and I feel like there's still an open space, especially in South Africa, an open space where there's real estate.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of...
In South Africa,
Yeah.
I feel like right now people are just experimenting with everything. And this is the perfect time to like help people and be with them side by side and just like grow together. And
I don't know if I should say this on here or later, you know, but you know, you can always cut shit out. But the aspects and the reason that I got into like podcasting was because there's real estate. You know, if you look at the States and then you look at South Africa, people be like, oh, what's the difference creatively, right? There's, you know, as much talent here as there is there, but then there's the aspect of real estate. There it's so saturated, right? Like, you know, you're trying to like walk through the buildings and stuff, and there's like buildings everywhere. Creatively, you know, not literally, you know what I mean? Creatively, like, you know, you want to get some creative land, you know, you want to get some creative buildings, but all of it's so taken up or so high because it's so saturated. But here, like, it's still, in terms of actual things that are being done, there's still so much land, and there's still so many buildings creatively, and the young people that are getting it now will get a hold of that. And the people getting it now will, like, you know, keep it and, like, you know, create like these massive creations. And that is, there's still like the opportunity and, like, you know, the not as much saturation.
And also I think people who have the means to help others, they still doubt this, like the creative space in South Africa. Yeah, people don't know what people are doing.
Yeah,
our parents don't know how hard some of these children are working. So even just like this podcast, we just like ask people that you want to come on whenever you're free, because people are doing amazing stuff and they just need like a platform just to express it. And also, I think it'll be cool to like look back on the podcast 10 years from now, like, damn.
Like, that's how I got my billions, baby.
look where my mind was at then.
This is where my money came from.
So yeah, man. Bag. So yeah, man, that's about it. I appreciate you coming out here. It was a great time. Shout out to everyone who's gonna listen to this. And also, like, if you wanna come on, I'm always free to have a chat. I love speaking to people. Thanks to Linda, of course. Kundi Kunz in the background.
You ain't got the answers. I just have to do that. You ain't got
Allan Astro. You ain't got the answers. And guys, thank you. Everyday Faces. Spread love. Peace out.
Sick. Cool.
Perfect.